Hey guys, I'm Matt Hernandez, and today I'm going to show you how to turn one background into three. All right, so we're in the studio. You don't have to be in the studio. You just have to have a white backdrop. You could have an X-drop with a white cloth backdrop outside. You could be in a studio like this. You could be anywhere with a white wall. Okay, so we've got two lights. We're going to actually do this with one and two lights in case you only have one. So we've got two FJ400s, a 36-inch Manny Ortiz beauty dish. I believe is that white? White interior with the diffusion, and then we've got a 1x4 strip box with both layers of diffusion on that. So those aren't the same modifier, but we're going to pretend they are for the first picture. It's not really going to matter because we're just going to use them for basically edge lights. So this is going to be based around just where we're moving the light and how it's affecting the background by how it's hitting it, right? So we've probably got him, I don't know how many steps or how many feet this is. Let's just walk it off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 or 7 steps from the wall. That's nothing scientific. That's just how far I wanted to pull him off, just to make sure the light's not going to hit it, because we're going to turn it black first. So the less the light hits the wall, the darker it's going to be. So you also want to make sure that your settings are going to reflect that. So I'm going to turn my remote off. We are at ISO 50, f5.7, 1/250th of a second. So I'm going to take a picture of him with no lights flashing just to see, and I can already tell it's going to be totally black. We're tethering to capture one here so we can see what we're doing. So you can see, so with no light, that's what it looks like. That's what you want if you're going for black. So now we'll turn the strobes on. So the first type of light is going to be backlight or edge lighting. You could do this if you have a V-flat, you could put that behind him and then have a big umbrella behind it, so it would wrap around the edges and you can get an edge light on both sides. We may do that in a different video some other time. Today we have two lights, one on each side. Ideally they would match, but it's not really going to matter because they're just edge lights. So this is just going to light the sides of him where the lights are angled at him, and then that shouldn't hit the background any because of the way that I've got them angled. They're about 45 degrees towards the camera. Now, if you point them too far towards the camera, then you'll get flare, which we don't want. So I've got my lens hood on my 70-200. I'm going to zoom in. So hopefully that's going to cut out any flare that we might get. So we're going to put them both at, let's try 8 to start out. And again, 1/250th, f7.1, ISO 50. Okay, all right, so just keep your hands on the back just like that and look kind of down in that direction. So this pose is going to be more dramatic, which is what we want. We want it to be super dramatic and less lit. So it's going to be a little bit more interesting because you're not going to see a whole lot of the image. You're just going to see the edges. Okay. Camden, pull your head out just a little bit and then turn your head back that way just a little bit too, right there, and look down a little bit more. Keep your head out. There we go, good. That's exactly what I was going for. And we might even be able to take a step towards me. A little bit more, okay, a little bit more. So the further I pull him off, I'm trying, so the light's wrapping around him a little bit here. I'm going to try to get it to wrap a little bit less. Okay, same thing. Turn your head kind of down that direction. Good. There we go, good. And that, see, I got a little bit of flare on that one, so I'm going to scoot back and zoom in just a little bit more. Chin down just a little bit. Good. There we go, good. Okay, that's good. That's what we wanted. So if we had 2 strip boxes, that first one, the light wouldn't have wrapped quite as much. That's because of the shape of the modifier. It's coming around the front a little bit more. That's okay. That's the front of his jersey. You can kind of see where it says Mavericks, which is okay. You know, that's basically what we wanted. So I'm going to turn the edge light off real quick just so you can see what one light looks like. So I'm going to put it to sleep. Same thing. Pull your head out a little bit. There you go. Good. There we go. Good. One more. Make sure we don't have any flare. Okay, there we go. Good. Good. Okay. So those look pretty different too, honestly. So that's 2 options just by turning one light off. Okay, so let's stick with one light for now, and I'm going to move it more around to the side. I'm actually going to have him take a step back to where he was originally. Move back just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to move the light around a little bit more. Let's go about 45 degrees. So because we have him so far off the background, this is not going to make a shadow. If I had him closer to the wall, the light would make a shadow from him on the wall, which is, that would contaminate it. That would make it less clean, which is not what we want. We want it to be as solid as possible, just to illustrate the colors that we're trying to go for here. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. Staying at the same settings, look at me this time. Turn your head towards me more. Good. Put your head out again. I'm gonna go up to F8 because it's a little bit bright. Chin down, keep your head out. Good. There we go, perfect, good. Okay, good. Now, so we went from black to pretty gray. Now I think because I'm at 1/250th of a second with my A7R5, I'm getting a little bit of a darker edge on this side. I'm gonna go down with my shutter speed to 1/60th. Do that one more time. Turn your head to me a little bit more. There we go, good. Now it's nice and clean. Okay, so because that's the maximum sync speed, the maximum shutter speed to sync with a strobe without going to high speed sync, that's why I was getting that little dark area there. So now that I went down to 1/160th, it's nice and clean, that's gone. Let's turn the edge light on just to show you how different that looks. Turn your head more to me. Good. Chin down, head this way a little bit. Perfect, good. Good, all right. So you can see how much that cuts him up from the background and adds dimension to it. So again, that's definitely, so I would take a few shots like this and then I would switch that on, I would turn that light on, take a few more, that way you're giving your client variety right there with the gray background. Okay, all right, so now, so we've got black and gray, so let's do white. So now what we're gonna do is move significantly closer to the wall so that light, and then move the light more towards the middle so it's aimed more at the wall. That's gonna light it more and make it more white. Okay, so now I've only got him like 2 steps off the background and I had the light in pretty much the same position, but I did scoot it back just a little bit towards me. So I'm gonna go from F8 to F7.1 just because I'm gonna lose a little bit of power with that. I'm starting with the background light off. So hopefully this is gonna hit the back wall enough to make it look pretty white. It's not gonna be totally white, but it'll be close enough that it'll be a distinct difference. Okay, ready? Good, and it is. So we are getting a little bit of a shadow on the bottom right, but that's pretty much doing what I want it to. The exposure looks good. I also went down to 1/125th. I'm gonna go down to 1/80th. So when you start to get lower than 1/100th, you need to really make sure you're holding still, ideally probably on a tripod, but when you're hand holding, you just wanna make sure there's no camera shake. So just be aware of that. Pull your head out just a little bit, buddy. There you go, good, okay. There wasn't a big difference there. So if there's not a big difference, I'd probably just go back to 1/125th just so it's more stable. Okay, so now we're gonna turn that edge light back on. So you can see the way I've got it positioned. I don't have it angled directly at him like I did before. I've got it feathered. I've got it closer to the wall, but it's still there's no grid. So it's gonna hit him and it's gonna hit the wall because it's gonna spread out because of the diffusion. So hopefully that's gonna take care of that shadow, make the wall a little bit more white, and then also edge light him. And I'm gonna go up to full power because it's not pointed directly at him. It shouldn't blow out the highlights on his skin. We don't want that. We wanna make sure that you can see detail. Okay, pull that head out just a little bit. There you go, good. Yeah, that's perfect, exactly what we wanted. So we can see his skin detail. He's got a good edge light. And now the background is definitely more white than it was before. It's also more even. We got rid of that shadow from the first one. And so we got gray, we got white, gray, and black from using 1 or 2 lights, either one. Pretty straightforward and easy. That just shows you what you can do if you just move the light around, not a big deal. And then also shows you the benefit of having 2 so you can add an edge light and have another look too to add into that. All right, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a quick, simple video today on how to get 3 looks with 1 background. If you did like it, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. Make sure that you hit the bell so you get notified when we post new content. There's gonna be a lot more to come. Thanks for watching.